On to the last segment of the podcast. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Cleveland Cavaliers have been two of the biggest surprises of the NBA when we talk about young teams and teams in general. But come playoff time, which team do you think has the chance to go further? The Cavaliers or the Memphis Grizzlies? I'll start out with you, HP.
Memphis. I got Memphis going. To your point of what you said earlier in the pod, the East is a lot more competitive than the West is right now. I got Ja Morant being, we need to start having the conversation about Ja Morant having his own Nike shoe. Like, he's looking like that type of a guy right now. I think that he said what?
Now it's an inside joke between me and Riz.
But yeah, like I think that, Ja Morant's playing incredible, and they're doing a lot of this as well with Dylan Brooks not really being around that much consistently.
Facts.
I think that coming in, he provides a lot of defense, even though he got killed by Paul George after talking crazy. That was his fault. But he comes in, he brings a lot of defense. He's going to hit shots. Jaren Jackson is looking really good. The coach over there in Memphis is coaching his ass off. And what's his name? Who's also hitting shots?
Desmond Bane.
Desmond Baines is doing way more than I thought he would.
He's that dude.
He's doing way more. They have toughness. They have grit. They talking about LeBron's ball spot in games after getting buckets. Like, they're doing.
I don't like that.
Hey, I don't even know why you would be upset with that. Like, look at your hair.
I know.
dude, come on.
I'm talking about LeBron. I'm saying, come on, that's my guy. I love LeBron. I appreciate the comment on my hair. I'm just saying, that's my guy. I gotta look out for him.
He's a LeBron stan.
He should have won balls.
Bron sexual over here.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's him.
Do that to me.
That's
you ain't
him.
gotta do that to me, HP.
No.
I've been so kind to you this whole show.
Hey, look,
come
and
on now.
I appreciate kindness. I love all y'all, but it has to stop. It has to.
All
right.
There's a certain respect that you got to show the GOAT. Is that not fair?
The what?
The who?
I said what I said. There's a certain respect
What'd you say?
gotta show to the GOAT.
Stop, man.
So I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers are not going to make it as far because the East is a whole lot more tough this year. I do expect at some point the lack of experience to catch up with them. I think they're playing great basketball. And honestly, I know this sounds bad. And, to go back to what y'all were also saying, does Colin Sexton come back before the season is over?
He can.
If he does, then I actually don't think that they're going to make it.
The playoffs?
No.
Oh.
They'll make the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't think they make it past the first round.
Oh, okay.
If Colin comes back, and that's not a knock. To
So
Colin,
right now, the Cavaliers would face Philly if the season were to end today.
I actually think that's a perfect matchup for them. I think
it is.
With the combination of Mobley and Allen, I think that'd make it really tough for Embiid. And if Embiid isn't going, Philly can't really do too much. But alluding to the question, I got it. Memphis last year, like you said, Dylan Brooks, he has a problem with yapping at the wrong people. He yapped at Donovan Mitchell. We see how that worked out. He yapped at Steph one game, 40. He yapped at Paul George. Paul George hit like 5 or 6 tough ones right on him. So Dylan Brooks has this issue where he's yapping a little too early, just a little bit too early sometimes. Like, wait, man, just wait. But Memphis, like you said, in terms of just looking at the paths, Memphis, in my opinion, I think the only 2 teams that definitively beat them is Phoenix and the Warriors. I think it'll be a great series, but I think those are the 2 teams. Like, I would be surprised if Memphis wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make it tough. But so in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, there's us, the Bulls. Then you got the Bucks, you got the Nets. Then you got Miami. Philly's still a tough challenge. So there's just a lot more depth in the East. And for Cleveland, they don't have I don't think Darius Garland is a guy yet, if that makes sense. Like, come playoff time,
go-to guy.
Yeah, Ja Morant.
Take over.
You know what time it is. Ja Morant's going to take over. He's shown that. Even in the bubble, he showed that a little bit. With Darius Garland, I don't think he's had that moment yet where he can show you he's the guy, and he'll have his opportunity to show us when it comes playoff time. But I don't think Cleveland plays such a comfortable brand of basketball where they are very stick to their game plan. They don't really go out of it. Darius Garland, is it that he hasn't shown that yet? So I think with Brooklyn, when it comes down to the wire, I trust Brooklyn. I think Chicago right now, we have Zach and DeMar especially. I trust us coming down against them. At least Miami, Jimmy Butler is one of the clutchest players in the league. I trust him. And then, of course, Milwaukee, they have Giannis. So I think in the East, Cleveland could be a first-round exit, but it wouldn't be a bad thing. It's a step in the right direction. With Memphis in the West, I project they're going to come out of the West the first round, and they have to see either Phoenix or the Warriors, and I think that's when they'll lose to one of those teams.
Facts. I'm pretty on par with you guys, too. I look at the Cavaliers, and I think what they've done this season's outstanding. Without a doubt, deserves endless praise. But I don't think it's meant for a championship run yet. Or a playoff run yet, or getting past the first round type of run. Philadelphia would be a good matchup because, like you mentioned, they do have the size, and they would have one of the better front courts to defend against Embiid. But even still, I think it'll be difficult, and I just think that he's playing at a whole different level. It would be a great series. I think that Philly does have a chance to beat them, given the fact that they have been there, they have the experience. I would probably lean Philadelphia in that situation, but no doubt Cavaliers do have the personnel to match up well against them. I look at the Grizzlies, and they're just playing too good of basketball right now. You guys hit it right in the head. There's two teams right now, clear cut, that I would take over them. You have the Suns, you have the Warriors. Warriors have the most playoff experience by far, and you have the Suns, who are playing the best basketball in the NBA. It's that fair. You look at the Grizzlies, they're the upcoming team right now. You have John Moran, who's playing at an MVP level. I don't disagree by any means of what you said of having his own shoe. He takes flight. He above the rim type. He has that type of abilities. It's inevitable until we start to see him start to become a transcendent type ball player. And you look at Jaren Jackson, his impact. He actually leads the league in blocks since the start of 2022. He's been incredible. Desmond Bane, we saw John Morant go out and Desmond Bane start to get more opportunity, and it built up his confidence to be this consistent ball player since John Morant has returned. Dylan Brooks will come back in seamlessly, be that great defensive player that he is for the Grizzlies, and give you a calm 15 points. That's just what Dylan Brooks can do. You have Steven Adams, who at first I was skeptical of the trading Valanciunas for Steven Adams. But it seemed to be a perfect fit where Steven Adams just fits what the Grizzlies are trying to accomplish. I think right now, you look at the grand scheme of things, East is a very, very tight conference right now. And in the West, I see the Grizzlies easily getting past the Nuggets. You have Jokic, who is going to be a bitch to get past, no doubt. But the Grizzlies are playing too good of ball that I'm completely confident that the Grizzlies will get past them. And in round two, it gets interesting because you're saying that they'd have to match up against the Warriors or the Suns. And then that's where it gets tough for me. I give them a better chance against the Warriors, I guess, just because the Suns are playing. I mean, with all due respect, you guys aren't playing the best of ball right now. You guys have won a few games in a row.
Draymond's out.
Yeah, Rev.
Draymond's been out.
Draymond has been out, and he is so essential to what you guys have. But I do listen, man. I'm sorry. I'm not all in on you guys being this championship team yet. That's sorry.
Ridiculous.
This season, I'm not in on it.
But you're all in on Phoenix?
I do think Phoenix is the most complete team right now. You see how when their guys go out, they just plug in so seamlessly.
You know what? I ain't going to. You know what? Because they played 3 times already. The Golden State won twice already. But you know what? I'm just going to wait until Steph, Clay, and Dre play 20 games together. They haven't done that yet. So when they do that and you realize, oh, nah, they're back, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit
and your boy Steph Curry has been – I do. And I've been very consistent with that. However, your boy Steph Curry needs to pick it up. He needs to pick it up
lately. He's picked it up lately.
He has, but I need to see it more on a consistent basis. He's that guy for sure. He's Steph Curry.
Well, he averages 30 on Phoenix, so
I think Memphis
the efficiencies go up.
I think Memphis is a year ahead of Cleveland. I mean, they've been basically in the playoff picture the last 2 years. They play-in team Ja's rookie season, made the playoffs last year, and now this year was the year they were supposed to take off. Cleveland caught us all by surprise, and like you mentioned, HP, the East is just far more competitive right now. I look at Cleveland and I say, yeah, they can't beat Chicago, they can't beat the Bucks. They can't beat the Nets, and they can't beat the Heat. They're going to have to beat a Philly team, and if Philly gets something, if they trade Ben Simmons and they get somebody noteworthy, that's a tough series.
That's a tough series regardless.
What if Atlanta sneaks up, and what if they face Cleveland? Can Atlanta beat Cleveland? I wouldn't count it out. I think Trey can outplay Garland. I think Clint Capella, Jared Allen kind of cancel each other out. So I could see Atlanta beating Cleveland. With Memphis, it's a little bit easier because you look at the West, and outside of Phoenix and Golden State,
are we pushing them against, like, Joel, let me ask you, since you're already talking and everybody else, are we pushing Memphis over Utah and Dallas that quickly?
I'm not pushing Memphis over Dallas because I think Luka, if Luka the past 2 years has lost to the Clippers in the playoffs, to Kawhi and PG, he's not losing to Memphis. If the Memphis Grizzlies match up with Dallas, Luka is going to average 30, and he's going to push him past Memphis. I just have that belief. He's
by himself?
He's not by himself.
I'm asking, but you're saying Luka. That's what I'm wondering.
Because Luka right now has the highest point per game average in the playoffs in the games he's played in history.
They play defense now, Drew.
KP can do his thing against him. I think Finney-Smith is a very good defender. Jalen Brunson is going to do his thing as well. They have a pretty good team, but Luka ultimately is just that guy that Luka's he's just on a different level. He's a top 10 player in the NBA.
But Ja isn't getting into that category?
I don't think so.
Why you say it like that?
I mean, Ja is great. Luka's he's different. He's different.
I agree. I definitely believe Luka is the better ball player. But is it by that significant margin that it once was?
Yes, it still is.
It's still a significant margin.
And we're pushing Memphis over Utah is what we're saying.
I think Memphis.
I'm out on Utah.
I think Memphis can beat Utah, but that's going to be a close series as well. I just think where they are right now is a perfect position. You're going to face Denver. Memphis is at least how it looks like they're going to get past the second round.
I agree.
Cleveland, I have trouble believing in them.
Past the second round.
They're going to get to the second round. Memphis, I feel like everything has to go right for them to make the Western Conference Finals. I don't think they can beat Phoenix or Golden State. Cleveland, for me, I think everything has to go right just for them to get past the first round. Like, they have to get the right matchup in order for them to get past the first round. What do you think, JC?
I mean, I pretty much agree with all of you. I think Memphis is more primed for, I guess, a deeper playoff run. I mean, I think Memphis is obviously they're going to beat Denver. If they're the third seed, that means in the next round they would play the 2 seed. So they'd play Phoenix or Golden State, depending on how the season goes, the standings. I don't have them going past Phoenix. I don't have them going past Golden State. Now, as far as Cleveland, it's tricky because I'm pretty sure Charlotte is only a game and a half out of that spot. So if Charlotte could somehow catch Philly, like, I'm not saying, like, God forbid nobody gets injured or, Joel Embiid or somebody goes out for an extended period of times and they can catch them in the standings, then I would gladly take Cleveland over Charlotte in the series. But if it's Philly, I would lean more towards Philly. I think Philly would win in a 6 to 7 game series. But then the other time on this podcast, I mean, we were over here discussing Joel Embiid's playoff woes and how that's the main difference between him and Nikola Jokic is Nikola Jokic has stepped up in the playoffs. Joel Embiid has gotten there injured and hasn't really been 100%. So no, I do agree with you guys. I do think Memphis is the better overall team, and I think they are a year or two ahead of Cleveland because nobody saw Cleveland. Granted, nobody saw Memphis doing this, but we kind of felt Memphis was a playoff team. With Cleveland, we didn't know if we were at my season rankings. I had them as a playing team, I think, or just out of the playing team. So they've exceeded my expectations. But just being how it's lined up, if we're talking about today, I don't think Cleveland gets past Philly. I think they make it tough. I don't think they get past Philly. But I think Memphis playing just Nikola Jokic without Jamal Murray, without MPJ, and I don't want to say that lackluster supporting cast, but that supporting cast that's not up to par.
You could say that, bro. It's not that great.
Yeah, it's not that good. So, I would take Memphis. Second round, though, I think that's as far as Memphis gets because they're going to either run into Golden State or Phoenix, and I don't think they're ready for either one of those teams. So, I have Memphis getting farther. I
feel like this year's Cavaliers team feels a lot like the last year's Knicks. And I know that they have real stars. I got Darius Garland, to me, is a real star. Jared Allen, at least defensively, is a real star. Evan Mobley, he's a rookie, but he's going to be a star. You talk about Charlotte, and if like Cleveland faces Charlotte, last year we were talking about the Knicks and the Hornets series, like, okay, the Knicks and the Hawks series, like, okay, the Knicks probably could beat the Hawks because they're so great defensively, but the Hawks just have so many shot creators. If the Hornets are in the series with the Cavs, you have LaMelo, Rozier, Hayward, Miles Bridges. Why can't they beat Cleveland?
Because they're the worst defensive team in the world.
There we
Cleveland's a
go.
way better defensive team than them.
To me, I feel like in the playoffs, if you just got buckets, you can get past a Cleveland. That is offensively limited.
I don't think Cleveland's offensively limited.
They are. They're ranked like 28th in the NBA.
I'm going to always look towards a team with better defense, and Cleveland's offense isn't even that bad. Cleveland's offense is good. I believe it's a top 10 offense, like around number 10 or number 9, and they're a good defensive team. I'm always going to lean towards a team that's good on both sides of the ball. We were here discussing a month ago how bad Charlotte's defense was and how like it's one of the worst defenses of all time. So it's like, I don't know. The
Cavs are 22nd in points per game. They're 14th in offensive rating.
That
sounds like a middle of the pack offense.
They're 14th in offensive rating. Yeah.
I can't get behind a team that's as great as Charlotte is offensively. There's that bad defense. Like they was maybe like okay defensively. I can get behind that. But then again, these are two fresh teams, two young teams. So it's like it could really go either way. I mean, obviously LaMelo and Garland, that's going to be a fun matchup. But I just look at defensively.
If they hard trap Darius Garland, what happens?
Whew. Well, what if Cleveland packs the paint and destroys Charlotte in the paint? They have no bigs.
I'll let Jared Allen beat me.
I can live with that.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
If Jared Allen beats me, then I was destined to go home.